Right, we're into something here. Well, that's hanging on. That's really hanging on. That's a bit of a different fight. This is either a pollock or we're into something a bit special. That was a bit different there, the way that took off, I'm not going to lie.
Now guys, this is what it's all about.
Hello guys, very good morning to you and welcome back. Okay, just very quickly give you a rundown of the proceedings today and let you know what's in store for you. And for me, pretty exciting stuff really. So it's just coming to low water at the moment. I'm just got myself out on a mark on some reefs, broken reef and sandbank, where whilst it's slack water, I'm really hoping to have a go and try to target a decent coochie's bring. I've never had a big one from the reefs, but I'm going to keep trying until I do get one. I'm trying to target them this time round on the lures, not baits. I've got a little metal jig. I know they take squid and I know they take almost squid looking jigs. So I managed to pick up from Southwest Sea Baits actually. I was just looking through all their different jigs like a kid in a candy shop, and I saw this little one. It's 60 grams, and to my mind's eye I thought, yeah, that don't look bad in terms of imitating a squid, so I'll go with that. It's got this little dangly hook on there with a little fly on the end of it, which I like. Bit of fluttery flowing motion. I'm using to start with, I'm using my little light spinning rod. I've got the little Pen Conflict, what is it now? It's up to 60 gram or 50 or 60 gram spinning rod. Lovely little light setup, and 20-pound braid, 25-pound hook length, fluorocarbon hook length. And as I say, I'm just going to be jigging around for a few hours. After we've done here, there's a lot more in store. I think we'll catch up with that as we go, but let's get cracking and get some fishing done first. There we go, right along the bottom. It's 112 feet here, and what we're fishing is, there's like a sandy, there's a fish. Oh yeah, we're in there. That's took off nicely. That really went well. We're fishing over a sandy plateau leading into a sandy flat bottom leading into a plateau, a rock plateau. This is fighting quite frenetically. I'm wondering what I've got. It's a pollock. Well, I think you've got to be in it to win it with the pollock. Obviously the coochie's bream are going to be down in and around the bottom. You're fishing these jigs. I'm just going to drop this one straight back, and back he goes. It's 110 feet, as I say, and I'm not even sure, to be honest, where the coochies hang around, whether they're over the top of the plateau, whether they're down on the sand to the sides. I think you're going to get smashed up a fair bit by pollock doing this, but there's only one way I'm going to find one of these big coochies, is just to persevere while there's no tide, which is when I know they feed, and just keep cracking on it, and fingers crossed, right place at the right time, I get one of these big old special coochies come and take the bait. I know that they get them around here. I also know that people generally don't target them at all from Plymouth, and I think they're rare enough to put people off, but if you don't try, you're never going to catch one. Look at that, guys. That sun peering through, the silence and solitude of being out on the boat. I feel so fortunate and lucky to live by the ocean, to have my own boat, and to be able to do this, nick a day off work and come out and enjoy the fruits of what nature has to offer. It's just a privilege and a pleasure. Life is so good, guys. That felt like a squid hit there, and that was a big solid. I think I'm missing a trick here. I should put my other rod down with a squid jig on, I reckon. I am dropping down the squid jig while I'm fishing the other jigging rod. Ever the opportunist. I'm going to drop the squid jig down, and I'm just going to allow it to run along with the boat, go up a couple of turns, and then just put this one in the holder and see if we can't get bent over on the squid jig. He who dares wins. I'm not sure if I just had a bit of a whack on that rod on the squid jig. Yep, we're in on the squid jig. Beautiful. Let's quickly wind this up. Have a look at that, guys. Something's on there. There we go. So that was definitely a wise move, going with the squid jig. That didn't take long at all, did it, guys? That's been down there for minutes. Excellent. Look at this one, guys. It's the Kraken. Beautiful, beautiful squid. That one's going right in the cooler, and that will be lovely dinner. My missus will be pleased with that. She loves squid, and so do I. That was a lucky old catch, but there you go. Better to be lucky than good, as I always say. So down we go again. I'm still fishing the squid jig on one rod, just almost as a sleeper, just dragging it along, and it looks like we've just had a take on it. We have. We're in. There we go. We've had a hit on the squid jig. We've got a nice heavy weight on there. That's a good fish. Feels like a really good fish. There we go. That feels really decent. Oh, he's come off like they often do. That was a really good squid, guys. Oh, that's disappointing. That was a very nice squid. Heart was going there. They're so easy to disgorge themselves. They do it often. Got another hit. There we go. We're in again on the squid jig. And again, I think he's let go. It has. There we go, guys. Have a look at that. That's the squid jig again, getting attacked. Something just had to go and let go there. Let's see if it comes back. Right, guys, we're in again on the squid jig. Hopefully this one will stay on. Now this one's not feeling quite the same as the other one. This could be a cuttlefish. More of a big dead weight. Nice and gently does it. Feels like a good weight, whatever it is. We've got colour. And what do we have? We've got a cuttlefish. Okay. We'll take that. I'll pop him in the net. And it definitely wasn't the same as the last one I just lost. You can know when you get the squid, they tend to fight properly like a fish. They take a bit of drag and have a whiz around, whereas with this cuttlefish, they just feel like a dead weight. The best thing to do with these guys is to leave them in the net for a while. Try to give them a bit of a prod. And sometimes they'll spit all of their ink out in the, well, not all of it, but some of their ink out in the sea before they fill your boat up. And we just had a hit on the other rod now. We've got something on the lure rod. What do we have? A little mackerel. Well, that'll go in the pot for bait later. It's all happening over this plateau today, guys, isn't it? Okay, here we go. We've got a fish on. We're right over the top of the plateau now. It's 63 feet. What do we have? It's a mackerel. It's a flying mackerel. Look at this one go. Well, they all count. Right guys, off we go to another little mark, a second reef. So here we are on our second reef. This one's not quite a pinnacle, it's more scattered and spread out with high rock areas and interspersed with sandy runs and gullies. So looks and feels pretty good. Again, we're trying for a coochies. I've got the squid jig down as well, just to chance my arm. And I'm out down with the I'm gonna actually go this side. Oh, we've got something on here. Kicking away, scrapping quite well. I don't know quite what it is. What do we have? It's a nice gurnard. Oh, there we go. That'll give me quite a good scrap there. Very nice. Right, these ones are little prickly customers. We've got to watch their spines everywhere. What a beautiful fish they are. Apart from the spines, now he was hooked fair and square, weren't he? Look, right in the bottom lip. Lovely. And just have a look at that, guys. I'll see if I can just grab him out. Oh, no I can't. Down he goes. Well, that's fair enough. He was going back anyway, but I wanted just to give you a little look at him. Something's taken a liking to the lure. really putting much of a scrap, and it's another wrasse. Beautiful colours on these fish. Right guys, so we're just starting to get a bit more tide pull now. So what I'm doing, I'm just headed back to the spot we started on, and the first plateau, if you like, of raised reef. We're going to have another couple of drifts over this area with this little jig, and then as it gets stronger, the tide picking up, the little jig's going to become less and less effective anyway, because it's going to start getting drawn out of the boat, away from the boat. I'm going to go about a mile away from where I am, drop the anchor, have an hour or two's anchor fishing for some of the big girls, and then once we've done that, we are then going to head off offshore, probably about another 5 miles on from where I am now or more, and go and fish a few wrecks. So plenty of action coming up, plenty of a plan in motion as well. I'm just praying that in the next couple of drifts, this coochie's bream, the elusive coochie's bream, grabs hold of my little jig and makes my day. Right, we're into something here. Well, that's hanging on. That's really hanging on. That's a bit of a different fight. This is either a pollock or we're into something a bit special. That was a bit different there, the way that took off, I'm not going to lie. It's really hit hard and then took a dive down. It's hanging down there now, almost a bit of a stalemate. It's going to go again, loosen off a little bit there. It's really going well, really going well. Now I'm just going to grab the net just in case with this one. If this is not a pollock, then it's something really special. No doubt it will be a pollock, but it's really had a good scrap, I'm not going to lie. This light action rod, it's a pollock. And there was me getting all excited there. I've got coochie's breamed on the brain, and I was praying that it weren't a pollock, but there you go. Right guys, phase 2 of the day. We are now setting off to my little spot where I like to drop anchor. Gonna do a couple of hours anchor fishing. Got some mackerel in the pot there, should be enough for bait, and we'll meet you when we get there. Well guys, here we go, phase 2 of the day. Anchor's down and both rods out fishing. Got running lead rig on one and I have a running pat on the other. Size 6.0 Cox and Raw meat hooks, 200-pound hook snood, mackerel for bait. Let's hope we can get a couple of rod benders for you. Fishing here for a couple of hours, and then we're going to go on to something different again. Probably going at a few wrecks. There's all day to go, so here we go. Getting a little hit on this left-hand rod here. It's going away. We're going to have a little bend and see what's going on there. And we're into something. There we go. Surprise, surprise. It's Monsieur Dogfish. There we go. Right, bite on the second rod. I thought he was going away for a moment. Having watched a fair bit of underwater footage, I reckon it was probably a doggy whizzing around the bottom with it. There we go. And we're in. That one's a bit better. That's hanging on. It's come way out to the right hand side here. Wants to take a bit of line now. It's spinning and gyrating. Could well be it is an eel. It's my old adversary, the conger eel, making a mockery of me yet again. They do love to do it to me. Visitors coming. All right. Are you winning? No? Nothing? What are you after? Anything? Anything to go with chips? Well guys, that's phase 2 done. Not so great at anchor there, was it? That one eel really. Few doggy bites, missed a few bites, and then nothing else. Very, very quiet. We are now skedaddling off to a few wrecks. Gonna try a little bit of jigging, get a few fish if we can on the wrecks, and yeah, let's see if we can make a full day of it. Right guys, here we go. On to the first wreck. That's a 170 gram joker jig, absolutely laden with some form of fish down there. Can you see that on the sounder? Probably mackerel sitting behind, but let's get this down a bit sharper. She's a tiny little wreck, and quite an aggressive little wreck though. Comes up and bumps around a bit, so I'm gonna try not to lose my gear here. There we go, we've touched down and we're straight in. We're in straight away. And down here, it's 200 feet of water, circling up. Ah, it's Mr. Pouting. Right, that's a bummer. Right folks, down we go again. So we've just hit this first little wreck, as you've seen, just nabbed the pouting on the first drop. Ominous. And down again. And away we jolly well. Back end of the wreck. We're going to keep it going. There's a big load of bait fish off the back of the wreck. There's a fish. Fish on. It's a horse mackerel. Lovely. My missus really enjoys eating these, so I'm pleased with that. And actually I'm going to go back round and do another drift there. guys, here we go again. So second wreck now, just done about 5 miles from the last wreck where we had the scad and the pouting from, and dropping down is 225 feet, got about 0.6 of a knot of drift, and conveniently this wreck is marked out with a few pots on the corner on each corner, which is always handy because it makes getting the positioning very straightforward. Right, we're back down again. I just bounce on the top of the wreck. I don't want to be doing that. So I've just come this time a little bit further down the wreck, ever so slightly. Just going to zigzag back across and across and across the wreck. Don't want to keep going over the same spot if it hasn't turned up fish. So it's the way I generally go about things, is I'll start off up the top end of the wreck, and then I will head my way along it, zigzagging down until hopefully I find a few fish. And at the back of the wreck again, and not so much as a sausage. So we won't hang around. I'm going to do one more drift on this wreck, and if I don't pick anything up, then it's on to the next. There's a fish. Fish on. Haha. Well, at long last. Something's not happy with that. He's really shaking his head violently. Hasn't bolted too much line off, but he definitely wanted that old joker slammer. And it looks like it's probably a pollock. Yeah, it's a pollock. Not even a huge fish, to be fair. Not a huge fish, but a very welcome fish. Now, if I can just get in under his jaw there and lift him up, I'm going to drop him back in. But have a look. There we go. Lovely fish. Just rocket him back down, and he's gone down. Lovely. Right, back round again. I'll just pick something up on the drop. Right on the drop. I've just lifted up and straightened the cast up and cast it straight back down again. Dropped it back down. I was going away from the boat a bit, and it seemed to do the trick, because no sooner did it hit the bottom, I found a fish of some sort, and it's the first action I've had for about 45 minutes to an hour now. So, I've just dropped it. It felt like a decent fish as well, actually. Well, I've got something on here, and my guess, firm favourite, would be the pouting. And it's spinning and circling, and it is a pouting. here we go guys, last chance saloon. This is the last stop off before we're going to head in. One more wreck. We completely lost the tide, if I'm honest. The wind has died down. It's beautiful conditions, but with no tide, I'm just literally positioning the boat directly over the wreck pretty much and just sitting on top. And the last wreck I started to catch pouting after pouting, which is always the kiss of death. Winding pouting up 200 feet ain't much fun. And so yeah, here we are, we're on this last wreck, last little spin, and then homeward bound. Well guys, that'll have to do us once again. Hope you've enjoyed. Haven't had the worst day, but certainly not the best. I think the best thing of the day that I lost was the big squid earlier. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you again next time. Cheers guys.